Good evening, gentlemen.
Excellent
Your
meeting,
briefing
sirs.
may now
Exquisite
begin.
as always.
Excuse me, gentlemen, but
The
there is a
briefing is
strange
now
phenomenon
adjourned.
happening. I think it's a spoiler. Proceed with caution.
Welcome to a gentleman's briefly. I know we do these every now and again, but they're special to us. Today, we're going to review one of the greatest franchises of all time and the newest edition of that, Bad Boys Ready or Die. And
Ride or die, not ready or die, but that's okay.
ride or die. Excuse me. But we still love this franchise. I want that to be clear. And today I had to bring my guy with me who is also a fellow fan of this franchise. Spenser, how's it going?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, nice. Ride or die. Yes, we're super excited for this one. So, before we start, might as well, shout out the socials. You know what I mean? Hit us up on the X, you know what I mean, at the LMG podcast or our Facebook group. You can find us there as well. You can Google us if you just want to find everything at one time. But hit us up. We'll probably be discussing this movie on the Facebook channel, Facebook group. So hit us up if you got any comments or if you loved it as much as we did. So, Spenser, got anything?
No. People know where to find us, and they made it here, so
It's facts. Yeah.
As is usually the case, we will first go ahead and issue the spoiler warning. And now, with that out of the way, I'm going to read a synopsis in my own words, and then me and Brandon, we're just going to talk about it.
Sure.
So, the first thing I want to say is, in my opinion, this was worthy of a full episode.
Oh,
but
1000% agree. We have a member who
some
did
of
not agree.
us, didn't see it.
Those of you who listen to us often know who that one person is, but yeah.
And I expect you to be on his head about it.
Exactly.
So,
1000%.
we open in Miami where our heroes are on their way to Mike's wedding. At the wedding, Marcus has a heart attack and briefly dies. While out, he sees Captain Howard, who tells him that it's not his time yet. Since Captain Howard is dead, the cartel decides to make it look like he was dirty, and they put his name on a bunch of drug transactions. Mike and Marcus ain't having it, though. So they make moves to prove that Captain Howard was framed. The cartel attempts to break into Captain Howard's computer, but that fails. This does trigger a message that is sent to our heroes from the captain, letting them know that there is some mess in the department, and he was getting really close to uncovering it. Using a coded message, he sends them to Fletcher to collect the actual information that he has because no one is to be trusted. Fletcher is running a club that is used or that used to be a stash house for the Haitians. The cartel shows up and, unfortunately, they kill Fletcher. After the firefight, our heroes find the QR code which shows them Captain Howard's more detailed video. This takes them to Armando, who is in prison for killing Captain Howard. A prison hit is put on him, but it fails because Armando is too much. Armando confirms that Captain Howard was innocent and almost had what he needed to bring down the cartel. And Armando is also able to ID the person that called the hit on Captain Howard. Mike goes to the higher-ups to have Armando transferred to Miami, but the cartel hijacks the flight, kill the pilot, and frame our heroes. They are able to survive, but now they are wanted by the law. The law and the cartel are on the same side in reference to Armando, Marcus, and Mike, but just for good measure, the cartel puts a $5 million bounty, dead or alive. Judy Howard, a U.S. Marshal and daughter of Captain Howard, said it's on sight. If I see Armando, I'm putting him down. Our heroes find themselves at Kelly and Dorn's place. They are able to assist in finding a photo of the guy they have been looking for this whole time. James McGrath, a military man turned criminal after some cartel torture. McGrath sends a unit to kidnap the families of our heroes. Callie, Captain Howard's granddaughter, was at Mike's house whenever the men showed up, so Mike's wife and Callie are kidnapped. Over at Marcus's house, they are able to warn Reggie what's coming, so Reggie puts on his motherfucking John Wick hat and
Mm.
secures the family's safety. Captain Rita figures out that O5 Reed Richards is working with McGrath. So they use him to get everybody to an abandoned theme park where they can save the hostages. Mike is unable to get a clear shot on McGrath, so a large-scale firefight ensues. Armando is able to save Callie's life, and McGrath has Mike's wife and Marcus at gunpoint, forcing him to choose which one of them will die. Mike shoots Marcus in the vest, which allows an opening for him to shoot and kill McGrath. Judy finds Armando and is about to finish him, but Callie steps in and mentions, hey, he saved my life, so Judy lets him go. After all that, it's time for the cookout, where our heroes have a brief fight over who will run the grill. They eventually relinquish it to Reggie. And that's the movie.
Good stuff. Great stuff.
I did my best to keep that tight.
No, yeah, that was good.
So,
Much appreciated.
Brandon, out the door. 1 to 10.
Oh man, you know, it's funny. I've thought about this movie a lot since I saw it, but didn't think of a rating. I might roll with a. I might roll with an 8.5. I might roll with an 8.5 right now.
Same, literally same. Like 8.5 is what I'm thinking.
I was thinking 8, but I was like, bro, I had a good time.
I had a great time.
I had a great time in the theater.
Had a great time. And I'm gonna be honest, I was worried for a couple reasons.
Yes.
One, it's been too long.
Yeah.
And I have seen it being too long be an issue. 2, 3 wasn't great.
Yeah, 3 was
kind of weak.
3 was like okay, but compared to the first 2, it's like no.
And that's the problem. Is like you have the first 2, which are just phenomenal cinema.
Phenomenal.
The first one is your favorite movie. The second one is my favorite movie. And then you have the third one, which is not a bad movie, but is not up to Bad Boys caliber so far.
Right.
This movie, I think, was up to Bad Boys caliber.
Absolutely. This felt like it was right 2000. This felt like 2005. You know what I mean? Right after the second one. You know what I mean? The third one felt like, oh well, I could tell.
It felt like a bunch of time had passed. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this one, like I could tell by the cinematography. Stupid. We can talk about that later, but just the shots, that's what made the first 2 so special. Obviously, many other reasons, but the way they shot the different action scenes, the different shots, they shot the close-ups. You know what I mean? This had all of that. And I was like, oh, this is what I was asking for from 3. You know?
And I also feel like from our heroes, we got more character from them than in the third one. It felt like
absolutely.
It felt like they were sleeping through the third one, but in this one, they were Mike and Marcus again.
Yeah, exactly. Like it felt like the second one was sort of like, let's run this back just for nostalgia's sake. Let's just get this, you know what I mean? This one felt like, no, like I'm Marcus, you're Mike. Like let's, you know what I mean? And yeah bro, 8.5 out the door for me. Yeah,
same. I agree. Definitely 8.5. And I mean, and I can say very sincerely, I don't think that any of that is like bias.
Oh, because I agree.
The third one wasn't great.
Yeah, I felt badly about the third one as soon as I watched it. I was like, nah,
like,
this
I knew immediately. I was like, this is not. Yeah, this ain't it.
This ain't it. This ain't it. Like, and this movie isn't perfect. Like, it had some jokes that were like the donkey jokes. Were like, oh, okay, but for the most part, I thought it was brilliant because we have a Martin Lawrence that isn't. You know what I mean? This ain't prime Martin Lawrence, right? We all understand that. So to put him as a like delusional sort of like I don't know, like had this life changing encounter, and then he's just on a high for the rest of the movie. That's brilliant because now we're thinking of him in a way that we're not thinking, oh, this is serious. Like he's on a high. We know his mind is somewhere else. You know what I mean? He just went through something. So to me, that was when they did that, I was like, oh, y'all get it. Like that was smart.
And again, I think that speaks to the character because it felt like he was Marcus and not
Yes,
just Martin Lawrence.
yes, man.
Because in the
Like,
third one, he was pretty much just Martin Lawrence.
yeah, he really was. He really was.
But like in this
Like
one,
when,
like because we know that Marcus has random spiritual bullshit that he be on,
yeah,
and like yeah,
wandering off.
they
Yeah,
tapped into that, and like
yes,
it took me back.
yeah. It really did. It really did. It took me back to the scene where Captain Howard's house where he was wandering around. You know
Yep,
what I mean?
when he was on
All
the
that,
X.
like, yeah, when he was on the ecstasy pills, like, yeah, man, like I was just like, dude, y'all get it. Like that was a perfect way to start. At first, I was like, man, we're not getting an action scene. I was hoping for a KKK level action scene from the jump. But
Hmm.
when we didn't get that, I was like, okay, all right, this is interesting. And then when they went with that angle, I was like, oh, okay, I like that. Y'all tapping into you letting Martin like really cook. You know what I mean? Let him tap back into what when he can cook. Um, but yeah, man, yeah, I've been excited to talk about this for 24 hours ever since I saw it.
Yes, I had a great time. So we start with them driving and
Mm-hmm.
just talking shit as is usually the case, and they stop at a convenience store.
That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah. What? Oh God! And of course, it was being robbed.
Of
Of course.
course,
Yeah.
of
And
course.
the cashier edition hilarious.
Yeah,
Whenever he was like, "Oh, it took a while to get the hot dog." No, it didn't. He got it immediately.
he got it immediately. Like, yeah, bro, that was funny, dog. Like, you had to grab a bag of Skittles.
Yep.
Um, doing way too much, but it was hilarious because he was just like, "Hey, bro, like, hey, I know you trying to steal this plate, but like, you might want to leave because when this dude walk in here, it's not gonna be nice for
Yeah.
you."
Like you got 15 seconds
Yeah,
before it gets real bad.
real ugly for you. Like Mike Lowry is nothing to play with, and he
And
was like,
yeah,
"Man,
Mike
shut up."
Lowry, you want to deal with him? You want to deal with me?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, gun to head. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey,
I'm
man,
so sorry, sir.
yeah."
I'm gonna have to go.
I'm gonna have to get up out of here. You didn't have to
And then yeah,
shoot him, Mike.
yeah, Mike shot him, and he's like, "Yeah, I honestly, yeah, Mike, you should have shot him. He had a gun
Yeah,
pointed to
absolutely.
your partner's head. Like,
He
yes,
was a
shoot
threat.
him.
Exactly. He was an
It's
immediate threat.
it's it's Florida. He was gonna do it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, you
He
put
said,
that
call
down.
911. He's like, aren't y'all the cops? Like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
we got somewhere to be.
yeah, we got a wedding night. So,
And
um,
so they're going to Mike's wedding, which I did not expect.
I wasn't either. Now, I was wondering because I haven't seen three in a couple of years. So I
Mhm.
was like, was she in three?
I also haven't seen three in a couple years. I meant to watch it before this one. I
Same,
normally do the homework.
same.
I couldn't find the time.
Yeah, and some of the stuff they kind of connected for me, so I was like, okay, Armando.
Yes.
Like certain stuff, I was like, okay, I got that.
Yeah. And I
But
remember the high
her,
points. But
yeah,
yeah,
but her, I was just like, oh, I don't remember that one.
I think so. One of the things that I had in my notes was that in the third one, Mike gets shot, and so he has kind of a near-death experience.
Yeah,
And so in this one, Marcus has his near-death experience. What I'm thinking is that from Mike getting shot, the physical therapy he had from that is who she is.
yeah, okay. They kind of mentioned, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of
Now,
sense.
now again, don't quote me on that. I have seen that movie maybe twice, but
Yeah,
not. It's
yeah.
been a long time.
Same. I think I watched it once. I want to say,
And yeah, like
um,
it was back when it came out. So
same.
it was before the
Um,
podcast. I'll say that.
it really was. I remember watching it on streaming.
So because I went to the
But
movies to see it and I was kind of disappointed.
yeah, I was scared. I think I was more like, man, I just do not want to be upset by this movie., but yeah, I was surprised by the wedding. Um, it kind of made sense though, like you said, with the near death experience, him kind of settling down, and with especially with the last chick he had, illegitimate kid and whatnot. Um,
Yeah.
so it sort of makes sense. But yeah, the wedding was dope. You know what I mean? Had everybody in that thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Captain Howard's daughters and nieces or granddaughters and everything.
Yeah. And they,
Uh,
clearly had a strong relationship.
yeah, absolutely.
And
Not,
so while on the dance floor, Mike has a heart attack.
yep,
I think it was a heart attack. It could have been done, but it looked like a heart attack.
it did.
And one thing that was weird to me was I think I know why they had to replace Teresa, Marcus's wife,
Oh, I wondered about that.
but she was out of character in my opinion,
She
based
really
on how
was.
she was in the other movie. Like based on how we've seen her, she
I
wasn't
agree.
the same kid. Like she was very clearly different. Now,
I agree.
that could be attributed to the fact that we see Marcus have a near death experience.
Yeah.
And so she's, more appreciative of life and all that. But yeah, like she
Hmm.
was a very different character if she was supposed to be the same character.
I 1000% agree. Because I was like, I feel like Teresa was maybe a little more like the
Angry.
original was a
Yeah,
little more like,
she was more angry, generally
yeah,
speaking.
she was more angry. She was more like, yeah, she just wasn't like, hey, Marcus, hey, how's it going? She was like, Marcus, get your like,
Yeah, that
like,
exactly. Like she
yeah,
was
like you said, you was
often,
gonna be home at such and such time. Get your, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, there definitely was a big change. I wasn't expecting. I wonder, yeah, I wonder why the
And
change. But
also that actress, I would have gone a
oh
different direction.
yeah, she's an OG mad. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
want to
like
do the
I
mad black
do.
woman thing, but
I love Tasha in the stuff she's in,
oh yeah,
but yeah, like this was not a role for Tasha in my opinion.
I agree. I agree. She should
But
have went the Tyler Perry route that she usually is been, cast as. But
yeah, or
um,
they should have got somebody else to sub in for Teresa, I think,
I agree.
or
I definitely agree.
or they should have found a way for Teresa not to be in the movie. But I
Yeah,
don't think she was the right choice, in my opinion.
I agree with that. It distracting is too strong of a word, but it was more of a hmm,
Yeah,
interesting. Like the fact that I thought about Teresa is probably not a great song. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like
You know,
it was noticeable enough for me to be like, that wasn't a good choice. And I do very genuinely feel like if it had been a different actress that was more within character, I would
yeah,
have had less of a problem.
same. I would have been like, oh, Teresa, and I was like, oh, interesting change. Okay, whatever.
I'd
Moved
be like,
on.
oh, she had to be recast. That's weird. But
Right.
not like oh, this feels wrong.
Yeah, this feels different.
And I will say it's very difficult to recast a wife. We have seen that be an issue. Like Fresh Prince is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of
Facts.
a wife being recast. Like it's hard to
That's
do.
true. It
And
really
so
is.
a lot of times, yeah, like you can't just execute that and it be fine.
Yeah.
So they did what they
It's
could, I
just.
guess, but I feel
I
like
was
it
gonna
could have been
say.
done a little better.
I was gonna say she wasn't in the movie much in the franchise, but I mean, she was in a lot in two. She was in a solid amount in one.
Well,
I don't
in
know.
yeah, because in one she was kind of important because
Yeah,
Mike and Marcus switched places, and so
yeah, it's true.
she was pretty relevant in one, and then she was kind of sprinkled into two. And
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
remember. I think she was in three, but I don't remember it
Yeah,
vividly.
I don't recall. I don't recall. But
But
I do like with the heart attack. I like the illustration, the way they did it, kind of
mhm.
falling in a in the water, and kind of seeing Captain
Yeah,
Howard.
like he went to the sunken place.
Yeah, it really did. I felt like I was like, "Is this Black
Like
Panther? Like, what
he
is?"
went to he went to the sunken place. Then he went to the ancestral plane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like I was like, oh, all right.
yeah. I was like, okay. This is
Because I was
interesting.
like,
I didn't think I'd get to the ancestral plane from Bad Boys.
same. I 100% agree. That's not where I thought we would go.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going there. I didn't think we were going in the spiritual realm, but
But they
that
were
was
like,
dope.
no.
Like,
They said black movies are different now, so we gotta.
exactly. We can do that now. We can get
Yep.
weird.
And they did.
Uh, yeah, it definitely did. It was good to see Captain Howard.
Yes, it was. Um, And so eventually Marcus wakes up and he's, a new man, kind of.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
found spiritual enlightenment. He says, I can't die.
But
He's
naked. Yeah.
yeah, he's up on the roof, and Mike is like, I really need you to step down.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
But and it's like, Mike, I can't die. Okay,
Right.
how about you don't die over here?
Exactly.
Uh so yeah, he gets him off, and then they go home, and Reggie's there, of course.
Of
And
course.
he's like, Reggie, get a job. And he's like, I'm a Marine.
What do you want
What
me
do
to
you,
do here?
what do you mean? He's like, well,
Yeah.
leave. I just got back from a deployment. Like,
Like, I love that though. I love that they was like, this he ain't just no deadbeat,
oh yeah.
son-in-law. Like, my man puts in work. He served us, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Served
like
his country. And he
he's
just,
on a
he deserved
legitimate
it.
he's on a legitimate
Yeah.
break, like that he earned. And so, but of course,
Ate my snacks.
Marcus is just finding a reason to be mad.
Yeah.
And Marcus, blamed Reggie and then saw that Teresa was the one throwing everything out.
Yeah, doctor's orders.
Yeah. Like she said,
Yeah.
we're vegetarians now. And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I was like, they ain't gonna
That's
fly
not
well.
gonna go
That's
well.
an old school black man. Yeah. That's
But
funny, man.
yeah. And that's another thing, is we see that they are both stuck in some of their ways, and they have
Yeah,
to kind of adapt. And
absolutely.
not even adapt, they just kind of have to deal with what real life is for them now. And they
Yeah,
tried to do that in the third one. Like, they tried to
yeah,
like make you realize, oh, they're older now, until life is catching up with them and things are different. But this movie, I think, did that a little better, because it wasn't as overt, but it was just as impactful.
man. Facts. Like, especially with Mike, with the him being like, they're like, we'll talk about it later, but he's like, they're like, hell no, I'm not doing that. Like,
Yeah,
no, like,
we will get
yeah,
there. And so we see the cartel show up at some random banker's house, and McGrath is there, and he's like, hey, I need you to do some shit.
yeah,
And McGrath, he does not leave anyone alive. Like, he doesn't do
bro.
loose ends.
No, not at all. That was tough.
Yeah, whenever the banker dude did what he needed to do, uh moved all the money, put Captain Howard's name on it, and then
Yeah,
he FaceTimed the wife
right.
and was like, do
That
these two
was,
know each other?
yeah, that was cold blooded.
Yeah, it was.
You gonna ruin her life too? Like,
Well, yeah, everybody. Everybody get it.
and then to talk to the
The girlfriend,
mistress,
yeah.
whatever.
The mistress, yeah,
Yeah,
like that was rough for her.
that was rough. He's like, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, boom.
And yeah,
I was like, God, oh.
and she just couldn't take it anymore and had to end her own life. I
But
was like,
that's
that's how they do
pretty,
things.
like, with the villains that we've had in this franchise, at least first two, like, they were brutal. Like, they were,
Oh yeah, that's the
you
thing.
know what I
Like,
mean?
they have no issue, and
Yeah.
whenever you're dealing with people, because honestly, Mike and Marcus are brutal, and
Yeah, they really are.
so like they have to be up against a villain who is about it.
Yeah, man. Like,
And
both from first two, like, those top villains was just murder. Like, they just murdered people. Like, it
yeah,
just
Johnny Tapia didn't give a fuck.
didn't give a damn.
And that's the thing. In the second one, the Haitians didn't give a fuck. The Russians
Bro,
didn't give a fuck. Like, everybody, there were no
they was
fucks
taking on
given in that movie.
the Avengers of criminal masterminds. Yeah, bro.
Not one fuck in that movie. And so
None.
they attempt to break into Captain Howard's computer, and they're not able to do it, and that triggers a message from Captain Howard's computer to go to Mike and Marcus, basically saying, hey,
Hmm.
there's some shit, there's some corruption, and I've been if you sing this message, I died.
Yeah,
And the corrupt folk are, trying something. But
right.
just know that I had an investigation. You can get the files from Fletcher. Here's what you'll do.
Yeah.
They eventually get there, and yeah, the way that Fletcher's point of view was being shot,
Oh, I like that, man.
yeah, because it lets us know, like,
Tall as
how,
hell.
yeah, I mean, Yeah, exactly. And so that was one of those cinematography moments. I was like, I like how that's happening.
Yeah, bro. That's what I mean, bro. People talk about Michael Bay. I get it. Man has made some trash stuff, but he started this. He made this franchise dope by doing that type of stuff.
That's the thing. I fucks with Michael Bay.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. Like, and that's the thing. When people clown on him, I'm like, hey, man, respectfully, I get it with the transform. I get it, but I will never sully that man's name because my favorite movie is from that man. I can't.
I just say Michael Bay explosion.
Exactly. Yeah, I
If there
can't.
is a Michael Bay explosion, but like it's not in a disrespectful way.
Right. Yeah.
It's in
Exactly.
a I'm laughing with you way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Bay explosion.
Right.
A Michael Bay explosion is one of my favorite things.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
And so, they are in there talking to Fletcher, and Fletcher's really trying to give them this hint without saying it, and they're
Yeah.
just not
Not
it's not
getting it.
computing for them
Wait, Marcus
because
pulled a gun on him?
yeah, and I mean, they're old men who like to do things a certain way.
Yeah. Patience is very little.
Yeah, they don't. That's not a thing they have, and so
Yeah.
unfortunately, Fletcher gets shot.
Bro, that was tough. I was like, oh, Fletcher, man, that's a cornerstone of the franchise. That's tough.
Same. I didn't like it. And I
Mm-mm.
especially didn't like it because, as we know, or we may not know, Bad Boys has a spinoff with Gabrielle Union.
Yeah, it does.
And Fletcher's in that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, so that show, so Fletcher's just not,
Right.
is that show over? We're just not going to see Fletcher ever again because he's dead.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm kind of salty about it.
Yeah. I was like, dang. Fletcher, like we couldn't get a leg shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, but
A
no, Fletcher
warning. I
is
don't know.
dead.
Gone. I was like, ah, that's
So,
tough.
yeah.
That's
But
tough.
eventually there's a firefight, and this is when Mike has his panic attack,
Yeah.
and he's confused because he's like, I don't know what the fuck is
What's
going
going
on, but
on?
I'm
Yeah.
not myself.
Mm-hmm.
And after it's all over, the dude is like, so this your first panic attack, or you had these before? And he's like, the fuck you, how dare you?
Yeah, it was like, what? You calling me gay? Like, what are you
Yeah, pretty
like what are
much.
you Yeah,
Like,
you like you think I'm soft, bro?
fucking
You
panic
sure?
attack, what you mean?
Yeah.
I
You
had that
talking
shit.
about therapy.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Get out of my way. Yeah.
And I was like, unfortunately, yep.
Yeah. That
That's
checks out.
that's
Mike Lowry
that's
is not
that's how
going
that's gonna
to
go.
therapy.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
because
Yeah.
he's an old man who refuses to accept how things have moved. And
Now,
so
Spencer, I did want to ask you, when they found out people were dirty, on a scale of 1 to 10, how sus were you of the Latina detective?
I wasn't very. I'll say this about that. Whenever I saw Reed Richards,
Yeah.
I saw that little like American flag pin one too many
Yeah.
times. And because one of the times I saw that American flag pin, I leaned over to the dude next to me and I was like, that American flag, he's dirty. It's him. He's the mole. He's the leak. And if he's not, I will be genuinely surprised.
That's funny. Yeah, I definitely thought it was. I didn't think it was her, but I was just like, and they
I
did a
thought,
good job with her interactions. They didn't make it clear. They didn't make it where she was
yeah,
like, didn't like. They made it. They kept it murky, and so I was just like, oh
like, and
no,
that's the thing. I thought maybe because I keep thinking, like in my head, I'm always thinking, you remember Johnny Tapia had the daughter.
yeah, 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 yeah.
We don't know who she grows up to be.
That's true. Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah, that's
so
true.
I'm always looking for her
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
in my head, she's gonna come back for revenge in some form.
Right, right, right.
And so I in the third one, I was thinking, is it? Is that what
Yeah,
is that what
yeah.
the twist is gonna be? Or are we gonna have like
Right.
a are they gonna bring it around town?
Yeah,
But um whenever I saw this movie, I didn't suspect her,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
but she was on the list, but she
Hmm.
wasn't high. Like I knew it was Reed Richards. And
Yeah.
again, if we found out Reed Richards was clean, I would have been very surprised.
Yeah. That he definitely like when I saw him, I was like, because he was like, he was like, I'm sticking my neck on the line or whatever. I was just like, sus. But um,
And
but
that may
yeah,
have been
in
when it
that
was like
interaction,
whenever Mike went in and said, "Hey, I need you to get Armando here."
yeah.
That may have been when I saw the American flag pin and was like, I don't like it. Like it may have been that scene, but there was a scene in there when I don't know why that's the thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was the thing. I was like, it's him. He's dirty.
That's funny. That is
But
funny.
I didn't suspect her, but if it had been her, I would have been like, oh, okay. But
Yeah.
she was not on my list of people
Yeah.
that I was like, oh yeah, she's absolutely involved. But he was.
Gotcha.
Like
Yeah,
I
I wasn't all the way opposite, but I definitely was sus with her a little bit. But I did love I thought that scene was really good. I love the action in that scene. Oh, bro, the Skittles falling down or the jelly
yeah,
beans falling down and the music playing, dying. I was dying.
hilarious.
I was
Hilarious.
dying, bro. I was like, oh my God, that's perfect.
Yep.
That's perfect. And then the black jelly bean, nobody wants the black jelly bean.
Nobody wants it. And
Nobody.
yeah, he said like everybody think that thing nasty.
Yeah, exactly, bro. But him like it was connected straight true to his character. He doesn't think he can die, so he just doing wild. Usually Marcus is like, hold on, wait,
Yeah.
hold on. You know what I mean? But he was just firing him off. You know
Yeah,
what I
like you
mean?
gonna call yourself the devil in his house?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus is usually the careful one, and Mike is the one who's like
Yeah.
standing out in the open.
Yeah. That was the beautiful thing about the whole movie. It's just like they kind of switch roles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but I
Because
did really
and that's the thing that's different about it. Now Mike has loved ones. Marcus has always
exactly.
had a family.
That's true. Yeah, that's facts.
And
That's
Mike
facts.
has people that he cares about that aren't just Marcus now.
Mm-hmm. You gotta
And
think about it. You gotta think
he's
twice now.
feeling that because
Yeah.
it's not only a wife, but like we see in this movie like he loves his son.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Even
There's a lot
after
of love.
what his son has done and like the life
Yeah.
he's lived, he's still like, that is my son.
Yep. Yep. Um, I really like the addition of why am I forgetting her name? The two younger cops.
Vanessa
What was
Hudgens
it?
and the dude from Heels.
Yeah. I really like their addition because I feel like in the last one they tried to be some young cops,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't work for me.
Agreed.
Where I feel like this one it worked for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, and I like their addition. I like the QR code. That was cool.
Yeah. I
Um,
was like, oh, y'all, just because if I happen to be in that art studio that day and I see a QR code, I'm gonna be like, we need to see what that's about.
yeah.
And then I'm gonna get the video. Like, so I don't think that was a good place to hide it. I thought whenever he kept pointing at it, I thought it was like behind the screen.
Gotcha.
But for it to have been a QR code, I was like, really?
Well,
Anybody can scan that thing.
I think they slow framed it. So like they ran the video of the thing of the board, but then slow framed it so you could only get it if you slow framed it. I'm assuming. But
Okay.
yeah, if that
So
thing just pops up like
maybe that's something that Heels found out.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's what I think you found out by computerized. But like, yeah, if you can just if that thing just sits up there like a restaurant menu, then yeah, you got a
yeah,
problem.
like I thought that it was like a part of like a slideshow. Like
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
like, what are we doing?
yeah. Come on, Captain Howard, you old ass.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
come on. But anyway, they're able to figure that out, and then because Mike can't trust anybody, he's not here. We're gonna go
yep,
to the truck,
yeah,
and the only people that's gonna know it is in this room right now.
yeah,
And he probably figured y'all are too young to be corrupt,
yeah. Facts.
or I just trust y'all. But
Mhm.
he lets them in on it, and they're like, "Hey, we got to keep this tight, okay?"
Right.
But he does trust the captain, and so
Hmm.
he goes to her and is like, "Hey, Armando knows the deal. I need him here." And Reed Richards is like, "All right, I'm sticking my neck out or
Yeah,
whatever."
yeah, yeah.
And then we see Armando, and I feel like at the end of the last movie, Armando was offered like a deal, like it felt like a Suicide Squad thing. Like like you want to do some favors for some time off. Like it felt like one
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's what actually happened, but that's what my memory is telling me.
Mm.
And I kind of wonder if we were gonna get anything from that. But
Yeah.
there's a prison hit put out on him, and he peeps it
Bro.
pretty immediately.
Early.
And he fucks them dudes up. Like it was
Bro.
like he was using them weights. It was bad. Like
Bro,
those men are
as soon as
hurt.
he wrapped it around, I was like, oh, he about to put in work.
I knew that because
Yeah.
as soon as he got like when I saw him like starting rap, I was like, he's gonna be swinging that thing. Just watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was not good for them.
Bro. The fact that he hit the dude with the knife, picked the weight back up on the dude that's already on the ground, was about to smash him. I was like, oh wow, you
Yeah.
going for you trying to end this.
Yeah, Armando's like, we're not doing this.
Yeah, I gotta send a message.
Y'all got me fucked up.
Yeah. Like I'm an assassin, bro. Like
my name's Lowry. Y'all got me fucked up.
Armando Lowry.
Yeah. And
That's
so
funny.
they talk to Armando, and it's a little turbulent.
Yeah.
And I feel like Will Smith's like, you doing okay?
Yeah.
You good? You need anything?
Right.
And so and this might be the point when they were both stubborn, and Marcus was like, God damn, that Lowry DNA is
yeah.
Lowry DNA serious.
Yeah.
And so he's eventually like, yeah, your man was innocent. And I never, Mom usually dealt with the dudes, but I can absolutely tell you who told me to put the bullet in him. I can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, I need him. And Reed is like, okay, we could probably make that happen. And then on the transport, it gets ugly on there.
Yeah, man.
So he reads the script so that it will frame Mike and Marcus, and then they slit the throat of the pilot, and they start killing all the other people who were involved. And I was definitely wondering, like, how the fuck are they gonna get out of this?
You're right, same.
Because I knew they were going to, but
this ain't normal Bad Boys MO.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because, and of course, you could kind of watch things happen. Like, you knew that they were going to be able to free Armando, and that they were going to be able to have a rough landing, but a landing that would allow them to live.
Right.
And so, he's able to, get Armando out. And I was, whenever that happened, I was like, oh, y'all strong as fuck. Because
bro, I thought the same thing.
They were just holding on to a rope that had Armando in a metal cage. There's no way you're holding that up.
Bro, Armando, I'm assuming 200. Probably 195, 200. That cage had to be over, maybe 150, 200 pounds. Maybe. I don't know.
And that's being generous. Like, I imagine that was a heavy
that's
cage.
A steel cage. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like,
because I think like it was an entire metal cage with an adult man in it, and you are just holding it by a rope. Like
rope.
And that's the cage had momentum on its way down, which means that they were like, that means that Mike Lowry was able to plant his feet and stably hold that thing and like pull it with his own weight, because that thing should have taken him with it.
Bro, there shouldn't have been a Mike pull, Marcus pull. That thing would have just gone, and you would have had to let go before it, reaches the little middle thing. But yeah.
And they're also saying that these men are stronger than the rope, because the rope gave out.
Exactly. Yeah. Even the ropes.
And that's the thing that means that, like, as far as I understand, and maybe this is not right, but that means that they were strong enough to take both sides of the rope and just rip it. If they were able to hold this cage and the rope couldn't hold the cage.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm going to have to call bullshit on that.
I agree with you on that one. I usually don't care. That one, I was just like, okay, we'll roll with it. Action movie stuff, it matters.
Action movie. Yeah, it's action movie. plot. They got
Yeah,
him stakes and the shit's got to happen. But
yeah,
yeah,
we
I was
gotta. So
like,
you have to save Armando. Like we get it. We get
because
it.
if it had been a metal chain, I'd be less mad about it
Yeah,
because like that. But yeah, the fact that all yeah, no,
you know,
but whatever. And he was just holding it with his hands, like because I know that if
bro.
I would have wrapped it around my arm at a minimum
Oh yeah,
to get
oh yeah.
more
Like
to
my
have
his
more
hand
on
should
it.
be burnt. Yeah,
Yes. Um,
yeah.
but whatever. It's a movie.
It's fun. It's fun.
Um, so they're out in the wilderness, trying to survive, and basically the law is calling them fugitives.
Hmm.
And because as far as the law is concerned, they heard the message. So
Right,
they're like, yeah, they because she was already concerned that Mike had allegiance to Armando
right.
because that's his son. So she was
Hmm.
already worried about that. But then to hear the message and for them to have escaped and all that, yeah, she's like, "Oh no. We're done here. This
Yeah,
is my investigation now."
right.
And so yeah, and she makes it very clear. She said, "I don't want there to be any questions. If
Yeah.
I he is on the nigga go die list. He is at the top of it. If I see him, he's done."
Yeah,
And that's like, as a U.S. Marshal, you can't do that.
yeah. It's facts. You literally cannot do that.
But she was like, "No, if I see him,
Yeah,
he's fucking done."
bro. I, go back to a previous scene where I knew she was about that action. And really, one of my favorite scenes when when they first find out he's framed, and Mike and Marcus pull up in the FBI's sitting there
Yeah.
talking crazy, and Mike is like, "Say he's dirty again.
Say it one more
I
time.
dare you. Yeah, I dare you to say it again." I was like, "Oh yeah, he about to wild out on this dude."
Yep. I was like, I was like, "Sir, don't say it."
Yeah, I was like, "Sir, he about to cave your stuff in." And then she walked in
Because
there, was like, "Hey, I know this ain't my jurisdiction, but I'm a part of this." I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, okay, she about it,
yeah. And it's so because I was like, this man looking like Thunderbolt Ross,
bro."
about to
I
get
thought
his
the
shit
same thing.
rocked.
I was like, "Bro, you don't want to do Mike Lowry.
Yeah,
You don't want to do that,
they
bro."
were talking that shit though.
Oh,
But as far as they're concerned, he was dirty.
yeah, it's facts.
But yeah, Mike was like, say it one more time.
Yeah,
Just go ahead.
he's talking about the department, Howard, all of them.
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
basically said all y'all
all
correct.
y'all dirty. Yeah,
And Mike was like, say it again.
yeah,
No, go ahead. Say it again.
yeah,
Like Mike rolled up on him
yeah. He's
in
like,
the
hold
room.
on, let me get a little
Yes,
closer to you.
move over.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need to look you in your face.
yeah. You need to smell me real quick. Hold on.
Yeah,
Say it. I dare you. That scene. I was like, oh yeah, that's the Mike Lowry I'm looking for right there.
and that's what I'm saying. We had more character. We had Mike and Marcus back in this movie,
Yes, facts, facts.
and
Because
so
Marcus was like, hold on, whoa, bro, wait, Mike, hold on.
yeah,
He's like, no, forget all that. You're
because yeah,
talking crazy.
he's talking crazy about
Yeah,
my captain.
about my captain that ain't even here to defend himself.
Yeah, my captain is dead. We're not
Yes,
doing that. How
not at
you
all.
watch your fucking mouth?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
and
bro.
so they're in the wilderness, roughing it, and Marcus is trying to bond them as father and son,
Yeah.
and make everybody hug. And Mike is like, "You're making us look soft in front of the boy. Stop it."
Like, look, we can't survive out here.
Yeah, he out here thinking we can't live because he
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, you're on my turf now. Like
Yeah, exactly.
y'all are fugitives, so y'all with
Hmm.
me."
Yeah.
And they were trying to he was trying to split up, and he was like, "No, we stay together, period."
Yeah. Right.
Because Armando genuinely so he was like, "Y'all are gonna slow me down. Like I ain't
Yeah.
trying to roll
And
with y'all old
that's
asses."
a legitimate concern. Like if I was him.
Yes, like that is
Yeah.
absolutely, you old ass men are gonna slow me down.
Yeah, like you got a panic attack, you had a heart attack? No thanks.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will be much better on my own. I don't want to have to worry
Exactly.
about y'all.
Right.
But so then we see that I don't know if this was exactly after, but they head over to the strip club.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
find a little help. And this is where like we just see cameos all over the place. So
Yeah, really do.
they meet with Tiffany Haddish,
Hmm.
and she is just trying to have Mike.
Yeah,
And got right to it. Like no
got right to it.
euphemisms,
I was like,
no like
damn.
altered language, like
Yeah,
just said it. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
oh.
yeah. Bro, I don't get uncomfortable with stuff. I was like, oh, we getting to it though.
Yeah,
Wow,
same. Because I
like that's
wasn't
some language.
yeah,
Yeah,
I wasn't uncomfortable. I just wasn't ready.
I
But
wasn't. Yeah, I guess I was just not expecting it to be like,
blunt like
okay,
that.
yeah, I thought it was gonna be something like, yeah, you got to come over, something like that. But
You're like, I didn't think she was
yeah,
gonna say ETP. Like,
yeah,
I didn't expect that. And
yeah,
and Mike was like, no.
yeah,
And Marcus was like, he's a married man now. She's like, I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
It's like, all right, well. And then yeah, she, pulls out the guns and everything.
yeah,
And he's like, yeah, there's a $5 million bounty on your head, and I need that money.
yeah, yeah.
And so
Joyce, what's my dude's name? The rapper. Damn it. The dude that came in there was a
yeah.
rapper. Forgot his name, bro.
Yes, and I same because my mind's already on DJ Khaled,
Exactly.
unfortunately.
Same.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I know Larry pissed.
Yeah,
But
I already
whatever.
know. It's
He'll
like
be fine.
Joyce something. I know he's a really good rapper. Made a really good like white person song. But
Because I
uh
recognized him as a rapper, but I don't
yeah,
know if I know who he is.
yeah. Nah, he's pretty good. He's really lyrical. But yeah, we good outside, and that's when DJ Khaled pull up, start
Yeah.
spraying the other dudes.
Yeah, shit gets wild because everybody's trying to
Yeah.
get that bounty.
Yeah. You remember
Because
me?
that's when we learn that the bounty is dead or alive. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yep.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, there's a big firefight, and then the U.S. Marshals show up, and uh Judy sees Armando and just gets out the window and starts letting
Chop,
him
chop,
go
chop, chop, chop.
because she
Ah,
said,
bah, bah.
yeah, she said, if I see him, I'm
Yeah,
putting him down. So yeah, she didn't do no, you're under arrest. She didn't try to, no, she just
bro.
got out that window and started letting them fly.
Bro, that is not police protocol. Like, you
No,
never see police do that. Like,
never.
she was like, fa, fa, fa.
Yeah,
Like, I was like, dang.
she said, no, fuck. I said what I said. Like, she was not playing.
Not playing at all, bro. But no, that was dope. Oh,
Yeah.
I think
Now,
did we skip the scene where
yeah, yeah, we did. So before this is whenever they're in the wilderness and they find the camp.
yeah, that was
And
hilarious.
they have to
bro.
do a Reba song. It was so that
That
whole thing was
that
hilarious.
whole thing was
All
hilarious.
of it.
He was like, why? Because we black?
Yeah, you think we
Like,
stealing because we're black? And he was like, look at your shirt. Look down at purebred.
Yeah.
And like, sing us a Reba song. And I'm sitting here singing the Reba theme song from the
Bro,
show
same.
in my head.
Thank you. Yes, I was doing. I was like, oh, they're gonna
A
eventually
single
get there.
mom who works 2 jobs. Like,
So
I know they're gonna.
turn too fast. Yeah.
I know they're going to. I'm a survivor. I know they're
Yeah,
going to, and they
I knew
couldn't.
it. He's
Oh
like
god!
roping or something. Oh,
And
that
yeah,
was really good.
that was that. And again, that took me back. Like that's
That took me back. It
Mike
really
and
did.
Marcus bullshit.
Yeah, that was straight up just that was based off just pure chemistry between them two.
Yeah,
That was
like I
good,
think
man.
yeah, like they were like, no lie, just go.
Yeah, it was like that's
Just,
purely improvised. I'm sure.
yeah, like just pretend you don't know any Reba songs and just let it
Yeah,
rip.
and then you start rapping a different song. I was like, oh,
Yeah, just so funny. And
so funny, bro.
yeah, and of course because there have to be some, you know, Florida natives
Oh
in
yeah, you
there.
got to.
There
Yeah,
have to be.
absolutely. Yeah,
And so yeah, I loved it. And so uh they have the big firefight and um one of the big firefights, and they end up at Kelly and Doran's place where they find out, oh, they're dating.
yeah.
They tell Armando to wait outside. He doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And he also makes a comment about Vanessa Ann Hutchins, which you do.
You do. You
You do.
absolutely. You're
Because
fine too.
yep.
Yeah. You absolutely do. Bro,
Yeah,
look at that. Bro, if I'm a killer, like, bro, I don't care about her
I don't give a
dude.
fuck. Yeah, like
Yeah,
what
I don't care.
this dude? Like,
Yeah.
oh god, and
Like,
yeah, like that's the thing. Armando, and he's Mike Lowry's son, so
exactly. Like,
he especially don't care.
I don't care, bro.
But
Like,
I like that Vanessa and Hutchins was about fucking business
bro, she
because
immediate
yeah, because
ready.
Dorn was not ready, but she was like, get him the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, you cannot be here, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it-
man.
like
That was hilarious.
that was oh yeah, that was great. But yeah, she's like,
Yeah,
then he needs to leave. He
yeah,
don't need to be here. Like she was
yeah.
about business, and I support it. And
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
they are we have like a montage of them like doing the whole investigation and doing facial recognition and all of the shit. And
Yeah,
eventually they are able to find him. And that's when we
yeah,
see that James McGrath had been tortured by the cartel. He was the only survivor. He went through some things.
yeah, yeah,
And we then see, okay, we know who it is. We need to get our families protected
yep.
because we know that that's where they're going next. And so
Hmm.
um, Mike is trying to call his wife. She doesn't
Yep.
answer. And then when the doorbell rings, you think, oh shit. But it ends up being
Yeah,
Callie. And Callie's like,
right.
hey, I think they're being framed. I don't like what's going on. I don't feel good about it. Um, I just wanted you to know that we're on the same side. And
Yeah,
cool, that's fine. We see that McGrath shows up himself at
yeah.
Mike's house. At
Hmm.
Marcus's house, he just sends a unit, a full unit,
Yeah.
and he's able to use
He
the
was like, that's easy
cameras.
work over there.
He was able to use the cameras to see the situation, and he's like, Reggie, it's game time.
Yeah.
Reggie said, yes, sir. Click clack.
Say
And
less,
Reggie got to fuck. And I
bro.
said, whenever he called Reggie, I said to the person next to me, I was like, please let Reggie cook.
Yes.
Please let Reggie cook. I want to see Reggie
Yes.
cook. Then let my man cook.
They let my man when I saw they weren't leaving, when I saw like they were at the house watching it and they weren't gonna head there and help, I was like, oh, they about to let Reggie go to work.
They're about to let
Like,
Reggie cook.
yeah, they about to Reggie about to show why he's in the Marines.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Reggie
bro,
about to
when
show
he
he's not just off right now.
yeah, like my man said, dee, 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 ready to go. Like, bro,
Yep.
we get the knee shot, then the head shot, then to grab the thing. I was like, oh,
Again,
this is
John Wick shit.
it really
Like
was. It was like a mini
he
John Wick movie.
yes, he did. He Reggie fucking Wick. Like
Yes.
he was in I said, please let Reggie cook.
Yes.
And they let my man cook. I'm so glad they did.
Bro, that was one of the best scenes of the movie. That was they was all
Easily.
damn, ooh,
Yeah.
damn. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and the fact because they have lived that, like they've done that, and the fact that
Yes.
they were like impressed, I was like, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And it all like and that's what I loved about it. It was all it wasn't like some like you know how you watch some action movies and it's like dude is beating up some people and shooting some people, but it's like, okay, like that didn't look like that was really well choreographed. This looked extremely well. And again, John Wick stuff. Shoots a couple of
hmm
people shoot at him, he dives under a table. Okay, works his way over, dudes walk close to him, leg shot in the leg. Boom, grabs his other dude's gun. Boom. It was just like, oh, this is well thought out. This is well choreographed. And the dude
hmm
and Reggie, the actor, did an amazing job.
fantastic
Amazing.
job,
Yeah.
and because there was even a moment when like it was quiet and the dudes were
Yes,
looking for Reggie, and then he like popped out of a shadow
bro.
and then went to. I was like, oh
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. I was like, oh, you got a
Reggie,
trap.
yeah, using his knowledge of the house, and oh yeah.
Yes.
I was like, this is good shit. And then they tried to
This
open that closet door, and that last one got popped.
five right in his back. Hey,
But
yeah,
yeah,
man.
like,
That was
but you're right. Whenever Reggie put them in the closet, he said, "Stay here." Beep 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 beep. I
yeah,
was
I
like,
was like, oh,
"Oh
he going to
yeah,
work.
let's go."
I was like, he's been waiting for this day his entire since he
Yeah,
left.
and that's the thing. I was in a theater full of black folks,
Yeah.
so there was hooting and hollering, and it was yeah, it was a fun experience all around. There were
Right,
some
yeah. I
jokes
wish
I
I was there.
missed because niggas was laughing too loud. but
Yeah,
that's
I missed
okay.
that. I wish I would have seen that. Yeah, because I was over there by myself going crazy. Let's go. And so yeah, that's funny though. I could tell if it was a theater full of black folks, they probably was going crazy for Reggie.
Oh, it was great. Oh, it was such a good
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And that's the thing, because I brought, like, between me and Larry, we probably had 20 people with us.
Oh dang. Okay.
Yeah, like whenever we see movies, we especially like movies we care about, like
Yeah,
it's a
yeah, yeah.
lot of us. So I pretty
Gotcha.
much bought an entire row.
Got it. Okay.
And so yeah, like it was a full theater and it was a good time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what's up. That's why theaters matter, man. Shout out to theaters.
Oh yeah. And so we see that another phone call that's made is Mike letting Captain Rita know what the situation is.
Right.
And whenever she does that, he, starts texting.
Yeah.
And he's the first, give me the phone, babe. What are you doing, babe? And give me the fucking phone. Like,
The right
it,
hand, right hook. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
like just it
Like,
started,
I was
yeah.
like,
He started fighting her. And I was like,
yeah,
oh,
I was like, that's
that
a
man
quick
got
chain. Okay.
that man got violent.
Yeah, quickly. Like,
Like, sir, you are why they're picking the bear. And so then, yeah, elevator door opens, and luckily he gets handled.
right.
And then she does the whole like, did it even matter? Did you even really love me? And he's like, of course I did. This was
Yeah.
just, side stuff. And she was like,
Yeah.
good. I'm gonna fuck anyway.
Exactly. Hope you
And
rot in
so,
hell. Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And so they use him to coordinate the whole final arena for the fight.
Yeah.
We see Mike kind of having another panic, like a pre-panic attack,
Yeah.
getting nervous about that sniper shot. Like he can't find it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not he cannot do it because he doesn't want to
Yeah.
risk shooting his wife.
Exactly.
And so yeah,
Right.
he cares too much. His heart is in it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, like he can't. And so um because he's not able to do it, they have to do the whole firefight. I like the
Yeah.
usage of the
Mission goes
drones.
haywire.
The drones were
Oh,
clutch.
clutch. Clutch as
Like,
hell.
yeah, the drones were so clutch. And Armando is about to get eaten.
Oh,
Like
bro.
Armando's in the water, and there's a crocodile who
Yeah.
sniffs him out.
Yeah.
And
Mono's like, take the shot. I
yeah,
need you to take
I
the
really
shot.
need you to take this shot.
Like,
I
for many
need you
different
to
reasons.
take it.
Yeah. Like,
And
yeah.
I mean, and them finding Armando is why it went wild,
Exactly.
because that dude saw Armando, was like, well,
Yeah. It's like, I
he's
gotta
die.
put him down.
And
Yeah.
then yeah, it just goes from there. Now,
Yep.
the dude who was the number 2 to the main bad guy, I thought he was going to give us a boss fight because
I thought so
he
too,
looked boss, like I knew he and Armando were going to like they were going to give us a
bro.
nice one-on-one.
Yeah,
Like I just knew it. Never
I
happened.
thought him and Armando or him and Mike were gonna have both our guns fall. Now it's just hand to hand. You know what I mean? I thought we were gonna get that.
Thought the same thing. I just
Yeah,
knew that, though, like we were going to see that man lose to a main character in hand to
exactly.
hand in some form.
Right.
And we didn't. That's okay
No.
though.
Yeah.
Because yeah, whenever Reed Richards was trying to leave, Rita was like, no, absolutely
Yeah.
not. You ain't
Absolutely.
going nowhere.
Nowhere.
And so she shuts that down, and yeah, that dude gets chopped up.
Yeah, plane flies through the building. Dude gets confetti.
Yeah.
And bro, so the alligator, we can talk about the alligator scene, but I want to talk about that camera shot because I saw the behind the scenes
when Mike was
with the gun, holding the gun.
Yeah.
I saw the
that
behind the
first
scenes.
person view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Bro, like they was director. I gotta figure out who it was. I don't think it's the same person who did 3.
I don't either. I was
So I gotta
hoping
look
it
it
was
up.
Michael Bay. I don't think it was Michael Bay, but
I don't either.
I was
But
hoping it was Michael Bay.
you could tell if it was somebody different, which I'm pretty sure it was. Like they studied the first one, like the first 2. because bro, that's that the whole turnaround. I was like, oh yeah, y'all cook and that whole scene really. Like you said, the drones pulled up in there, did the smoke, um, all that. Like that whole fight scene was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the alligator. Uh, that was funny. I don't know how Mike didn't end up losing the arm, but I mean
Oh,
Marcus didn't lose the arm.
that arm, Marcus should not have an arm. Like
Should
that
not like
that thing should
he
be
did
gone.
he did a roll too. I was like, oh yeah, he's done.
He's done.
Like
Like that arm is his. Like it's
yeah,
gone
bro.
forever.
Yeah,
Like
I thought the same thing.
like I don't know how that arm survived. Like because there's
The
no way it
same.
would have. Like
No,
if that alligator got it and yeah, no.
getting
He would
rolled.
have
Yeah, bro.
ripped that thing
You're
off.
not
Because
getting like dog scratches on your arms. Like, nah, you're yeah,
no, like yeah,
so
your arm is gone.
yeah, exactly,
Like to the
exactly,
shoulder.
exactly. I thought honestly when they pulled him out the water, I was like, oh, like my man going, he ain't got no arm no more or something. But I mean, it was
That's
just
what I
like
thought too.
yeah, flesh wound.
I was like,
I was like,
oh,
what?
okay.
Yeah,
The biggest croc in all the land, or the biggest
16
alligator in all
feet
the
or whatever
land,
they said.
and yeah,
Yeah,
and that your arm, okay.
yeah. I was like, all right, buddy.
But I do appreciate that he tried to do the whole like, I am Marcus.
Yeah, I like that he. Yeah, I like that he had to figure out now, bro. In reality, that's not gonna work, buddy.
Yeah, and he got there later.
Yeah, he did.
Whenever we get to kind of the final scene. Before that, we see Armando risking it all for Callie
Really did, bro. He saved her life like two, three times. Like,
because
yeah,
and it's only like purely because Mike said save Callie. Like that's all those were the only instructions.
yep,
And he said, got it. And
got it,
he risked his life. He took a lot of knives for
bro.
her.
It was like
Like
it was like 4 or 5 in a row. It was like,
and there was one like deep in the shoulder. I was like, ooh,
yeah,
oh,
high shoulder. I was like, ooh,
oh
took
no.
one low to the gut, I think, and then like,
Yeah,
yeah, bro,
because yeah, at first he just took a couple slices. And I was like,
yeah,
okay,
exactly to the face and the arm.
that's fine. But yeah, like he took some stabs.
Yeah,
And yeah, I was like, oh,
yeah.
sir, like that baby
At
is
first,
lucky to have you.
I thought she was gonna like pull a gun. You know, what I mean, she U.S. Marshal's daughter,
Yeah.
granddad's a captain. I was like, maybe she might fire one off, but I mean, I'm probably glad she didn't. It made Armando look more of a hero. But
Oh yeah,
um,
same.
yeah, but no, that was yeah. It made you. I mean, throughout the movie, you felt more for Armando, but even then, it was like, oh, this is a hero. Like,
Yeah,
okay, that's what's up.
like
You know,
I really like Armando, and
same.
I'm glad that because we're introduced to him as just a terrible person,
Yeah, same.
but I'm
Yeah,
glad that he, like character wise, I'm glad that he found it in his heart to like love his father.
same. And I'm glad they did a long term build, kind of like wrestling, like a long term. It wasn't a one movie. He murders Captain Howard, and then at the end, he's all good. Like it was. It took 2 movies basically.
Yeah,
You know.
like he had
So
to grow into a better person, and
exactly.
it was still relatively quick,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the movie had to happen.
yeah. It did. It did.
But yeah, I'm glad that we got to see his face turn.
Right.
And so we see that um Marcus is caught
Mhm.
and McGrath is like, "Oh, look at this. You're going to have to
Yeah.
make a choice."
Yeah.
And this reminded me of the opening scene of Bad Boys 2 whenever Mike is like, "You see, that's what you don't understand. My partner and I came here prepared to die." And
Yeah.
Mark was like, "The fuck I want to do that for?" And so
Exactly.
this was not only a callback to the second movie, but to earlier in this movie,
Yeah.
whenever
He
Marcus
told
said,
him.
"I can't die." And he was like, "See, that's the thing you don't understand. My partner can't die."
Yeah.
And Marcus was like, "The fuck?" Like,
Like,
I
no, you need to talk to
no,
him first about that.
that alligator humbled me a little bit. I
Yeah.
think I think I get it now.
My arm is in shreds. Yeah. Because wasn't it Bad Boys 2 where Gabrielle Union had the gun to her head and was it
So
because they were in the pit with the
he had the
mimes or whatever?
so he had the gun to Mike's head, and
That's right. Yeah.
Gabrielle Union had a gun, and so
That's
she
true.
threw it, and that activated a mine
That's right. Yeah.
to kill the number two.
Yeah.
And then that's when Marcus shot Johnny Tappy in his head right past Mike's ear.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's where we get them. Now that's how you're supposed to shoot.
Exactly. No, I did want that. I did want.
I did
That's
want
how
that.
you drive. Yeah, I did want one of
I
those.
wanted to. Now that's how you supposed to ... From
Yeah,
now
exactly.
on, that's how
Yeah.
you ... And that's
I needed that.
that's the thing that I was like, it wasn't Michael Bay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because I needed that somewhere. I don't know where you fit that in at. I need that somewhere though.
Same. I don't know how you do that, but
Right.
somewhere they could have made that happen.
Yeah.
But that all happens, and then Mike unloads the clip.
Bro. Like
Like
then a headshot.
like he shot Marcus in the vest and then just lit his ass up.
Bro. And I love that though. Like, because sometimes like I'll be in my head, I'm like, okay, in that situation, what is the best move? Because like you shoot him in his shooting shoulder, you thinking, oh, okay, I'm shooting and shooting on it's gonna just, make his arm to where he can't shoot, but maybe that accidentally triggers him to fire, you know what I mean? Anything. So it's like thinking strategically like that. That was smart to shoot him in his chest, he's gonna go down. That was smart.
I agree. And one of
Yeah.
the things that we forgot to mention was Mike started having a panic attack,
Yeah, he
and
did.
he started to he almost started to die.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. We didn't talk about it. Yeah.
and Marcus slapped the shit out of him. And he's like,
Bro,
we don't need family man Mike Lowry. We need
yeah.
that fucking animal Mike Lowry.
I need that Mike Lowry. Yeah. Because
and
Captain Howard blessed him. He told him, hey, it ain't your fault. I did what you it's not on you. It's not let it go, essentially.
And like Marcus had to snap him. Marcus said, no, that's not who we need right now.
Like, bro, bullets are flying, my boy.
Yeah.
I need
Mike Lowry.
My Lowry. Come on, man.
And he got him there.
He really did. He
And
pulled out. Anytime Mike starts screaming, you better just duck.
Yeah, and then that's the thing. Like once he started screaming, like he's turned into Mike Lowry. He said, I don't give a fuck. Like he's just walking regular.
Yes.
Bow both hands, letting them fly.
Like,
and
yeah, bro.
So yeah. And that's the thing. Like I think that's one of the things that, because Marcus did that, that's what allowed Mike Lowry to shoot Marcus to kill James.
Yep, absolutely. If he wouldn't have did that, if he wouldn't have had that moment, he would have been.
Yeah, he would have had a panic attack right then. Yeah,
he really would have.
But yeah, like Marcus helped him put his game face on.
Yep. See,
because that's the thing. Like Mike was like looking at his wife. Like his wife was there that time, and so yeah. But yeah. And one of the things that I also thought was interesting, one of the things that Reed Richards says is like, we don't, after 9/11, we don't give a fuck about drugs.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that was
an interesting perspective.
Okay. That was.
Like, yeah, we do not care about drugs. We're worried about terrorists.
Terrorism.
So yeah, some drugs can get it. We don't care about that. Like that's not priority at this point. So, and Bad Boys 2 is 2003. And
he was like, the cartel gives us information to help us prevent, larger terrorist attacks. So we let them, flow
let them deal
here. To flow. Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, everybody wins.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That was very interesting. Like, because they didn't have to add that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't have to add that, but they did. That was interesting.
Agreed. But, yeah. So after that, Judy finds Armando, and she's ready to do what she said she was going to do.
Yep. Even shot at him once.
Yeah. Because she shot the tree, I think.
Yeah, shot the tree, yep.
And then Callie's like, no, wait, please, no. You're like, Callie, move to your right.
Exactly. Slowly. I'm about to let this thing
slowly move to your right.
Yeah.
Because it's about to be over for this man.
Yeah. It's about to be a lot of blood moving.
Yeah. No, Mom, you saved my life. Please, no. And then that's when Mike shows up and is like, hey, let's think about this. And she's like,
yeah,
leave before I change my mind.
Yep.
And then we just see the radio. basically saying that, he's been posthumously exonerated.
Yep.
He didn't do all the shit he said he was going to do. They caught the people who did. Um, and Armando is still at large.
Yep.
Because Armando did some good shit, but he still killed Captain Howard.
Exactly. Still a fugitive.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's still a murderer.
Right.
So he disappeared into the night. And
Yep.
that's all we got. Now, one of the things that one of my people who I was with mentioned to me was they didn't like how the movie didn't really seem to have any interest in continuing. It felt like it just kind of ended because it felt ambiguous and like there wasn't really a path forward from here.
Mm.
And I was like, I wanted it to end. Like I don't think we need to like if we have some continuation in this same world, that's fine. But like I don't need Mike and Marcus again. Like I think that they can hang it up. And I think that he was thinking like he didn't like how ambiguous Armando's fate was because like Armando could carry a new set of movies.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I
And
know that's a good point. I do know that I remember reading something, and I'm pretty sure they're planning Bad Boys 5. Like, and I think Will Smith's even confirmed it, I believe. Like during this whole press tour, he's kind of confirmed like there's going to be a fifth one. I think that's why, because I read that before seeing the movie, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe. But I agree though. If I wouldn't have known that walking in, I'd have been like, ooh, okay, where are we? Because it was a sort of an ending like, okay, like also like kind of like a Marvel movie where you expected like an end credit scene or you expected something like launching us off into the new thing, but it didn't do that. And this is a franchise that's already, now had 4 movies. So you were kind of like, okay, give us some sort of direction of what we're doing. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be a fifth one.
okay. Because I mean, it looked like Reggie and Armando are going to move this thing forward,
Mm-hmm.
but also that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, that was the only part where I was like, you can't have Armando. Armando can't join a force of any kind, right? He can't legally do anything. So it's like, I can see him getting a separate show, sure. But like him
Yes.
running Bad Boys would be tough just because, there's
Yeah.
a totally different, thing.
Because they're police officers. Like
Exactly. At the end of the day, they're police officers. Like, you know what I mean?
and Armando was almost a drug kingpin.
Exactly. Like
Like
he's
he was
done
like
literally. He
he
just
was a
started doing
hired
stuff
hand.
lawfully.
Yeah, like he was the particular set of skills for the drugs.
Yeah,
Like he's the
that's
guy
true.
you send when you need shit done.
Exactly. Like, and if he wouldn't have killed Captain Howard, I'd be like, oh, maybe DEA, something, CIA, something, real murky.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, you got a body, you got a police body on your list too. So it's like,
So yeah, because I mean, again, at the end of the third one, he was offered a Suicide Squad style
yeah,
deal. And so I
hmm
was like, okay, we're going to see what happens there.
yeah,
But the fact that in this movie he was still on lockdown,
yeah,
and now he's, a fugitive, it's like,
at large.
oh, so what, okay.
Yeah, I will say, like you've mentioned, this performance was so good. It was good enough to where if they did do that, I'd be like, okay, bet. Like
Oh, I'm
I
down.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm like, oh yeah,
I'm
let's
100% down.
fucking go.
Yeah, like his performance was really good. I thought he was really good in everything he did. Even the action stuff was convincing. So I'm like, yeah, if they did pull that trigger, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm down.
Like absolutely.
Yeah, but
Because
yeah, man,
again, they gave Gabrielle Union a show.
exactly. Which
And
I
so
watched a little bit at the beginning. Um, didn't watch a ton after that though. Is it still? It got canceled, right?
I think it got canceled.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did because I hadn't heard about it in a few years.
I think that I
Uh,
know there were at least 2 seasons because I'm pretty sure I
yeah,
watched season 1 and 2.
yeah, I think I did. I think I for sure watched season 1. Um, but yeah, overall, man, I thoroughly had a good time.
Same.
I was so happy. Like again, we've talked about this countless times, but this franchise means so much to me. I love buddy cop movies are potentially my favorite genre of a movie, and so these two just took the buddy cop thing and made it like a cool thing. It used to be like buddy cop was kind of like funny. It was funny, but it wasn't cool. But they made it like cool. You know what I'm saying? So, and as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, this is where it's at. So, just to see it back on track again I was happy.
It's my favorite movie.
Yeah, like literally my favorite.
I will watch that movie anytime.
Same. Like if I catch it, well, TNT used to have Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2 on like
all the time,
every day, and I'd watch it every time.
Yeah, Mother Lover. Like yeah, be hearing that. Like the clean version of the movie was funny for a different reason.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that was the only thing I was missing was dun 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 dun, like that, like classic. I think they played it like once.
Yeah,
but I needed that a little more. And what we talked about, like that's how you drive. That's the only thing I want. Other than that,
because they even threw in like the Bad Boys.
Bad Boy.
Yeah.
And
the way that they did it, because they were they were slow. They were like bad boys, and then the background, bad boys.
Yeah.
Like the way they did that, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I fucks with it.
Yeah. I'll rock with that, man. But yeah,
so,
man.
Is your number changed?
You know what? Okay, so I'm trying to think in my head, and this probably isn't fair, but I'm trying to think. I'm giving Bad Boys 1 probably a 10 for me. Bad Boys 2, I'm probably doing. It's kind of hard to go anything less, but
you know how I feel.
I know. Bad Boys 2 at worst for me is a 9.5. At worst, it's probably a 10. At worst is 9.5. Bad Boys 3 probably 6.5, maybe 7. Maybe 7. Like, yeah, and I haven't seen 7. It. Yeah, like I'd rather see it again to give it an accurate score. With this one, this is hurt. I'm gonna stick with 8.5. Try not to. I feel like in my heart that's where it should be. What about you?
This is still an 8.5.
Okay.
Very solid outing. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, honestly.
Same.
I was concerned that we were going to have a repeat of 3 as far as quality and level of enjoyment. Right. But nah, this was worth the time. Like I'm telling people, like it is worth your time. Absolutely go see it.
Absolutely. I am singing to high heavens about this movie. And I've also loved to see that like it had a really good first weekend, like grossing. Made over 100 million, which is really good nowadays. That's one of the highest grossing movies this year so far. So
because a movie has got to be worth getting people to the theater nowadays. Because
exactly.
A lot of people are like, why would I leave my house?
Yeah, why would I leave? I can stream everything. So the fact that people go to the movie means a lot more nowadays. So yeah, I'm happy with how everything's going forward. Again, Bad Boys 5, I'll be happy for it. I'll go see it. Hopefully it's just as good. Hopefully get the same director and all that. But just this in a vacuum, I loved it.
Same.
You know, I will be suggesting it to anyone I know.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We're talking to you, Jordan.
Yeah, talking to you, Jordan. Talking to all those out there who think they're washed. But Spenser, it was fun talking about one of our favorite franchises once again.
Indeed.
Again, this deserved the time that it got. You know what I mean? This is a briefly, but you know what I mean? We had to give this one. This is special. This is special to our hearts.
Agreed.
You know.
Like, honestly, this should have been a full episode, but
yeah,
whatever. It's fine.
Politics. Yeah.
Yeah. The game has to be played.
Exactly. All right, folks. Again, hit us up on the socials. Hit us up on the Twitter or Facebook group mainly. We'll definitely be posting some stuff there just to mention the movie and things, and then y'all can tap in with us. But till next time, we out.
Excellent meeting, sirs. Exquisite as always. The briefing is now adjourned.